to get attention, like you were saying. You want to get clicks and eyeballs.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that
So you need to hit them with something horrific sounding. You know, a bomb cyclone and an atmospheric river.
Yeah.
That's what's coming at you.
Yeah, otherwise...
In the old days, it's just going to rain and probably heavy at times.
Rain, heavy at times. That's right. That's what the forecast used to be. And that's what's happening.
That's what I remember.
We're having today rain, heavy at times. That's all.
You know, the Weather Channel is one of the most viewed. People love this stuff.
I love the weather, too, but there's no need for nonsense.
Dad, really
Just tell me it's raining. I don't need to know it's the result of bombogenesis, which created a bombocyclone and an atmospheric river. That's silly. You know, they think they're novelists.
They want to get you to understand that this is, and of course, you're also screaming about the drought. No, it's going to be mud flows and debris flows and people in fire areas are in danger. It's like, oh, you're always in danger.
I know.
I'm exhausted.
I saw that last
I
night.
think Deborah Mark doesn't live in one of these places where there's mud flows and debris flows.
I'm so happy.
Did you see the rock slide up north, though?
Oh, I
A whole side of a mountain collapsed on this two-lane road.
How is that funny?
Well, nobody got hurt. It just, I don't know, it was comical to me.
I had a huge tree off my path this morning, so that was my excitement.
No, well, nothing's happened in my neighborhood.
I had to shorten my walk with my dog this morning because it was raining.
Right. You didn't put out an umbrella, did you?
No.
Because you'd end up with the Mary Poppins
No, I didn't.
situation there.
I hope you got sympathy on Facebook.
I didn't post anything.
And Graham roasted.
My walk was ruined. It turned out to be, like the wettest October day ever for San Francisco. Yesterday was. Well, again, records don't go back, hundreds or thousands.
Good. Maybe we'll all shut up about the drought, and climate change and all that, everything else.
4.02 inches fell on that day yesterday, recorded in San Francisco. That's pretty good. This story is one we're watching, and I'm trying to see if there's any update on it, but guess who's supposed to, well, I'm going to assume it's doomed, make a court appearance today. It's the USC, the former USC Dean of Social Work, this Marilyn Flynn.
Yeah.
It's her turn to face the judge in the indictment involving fraud and, of course, involving Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas.
Yeah, I wanna see her turn on Ridley Thomas.
That's what we're wondering.
Put him away.
Well, because at 83, she doesn't want any prison.
Right. Would you not make a deal to protect Ridley Thomas? I mean, who would do that?
Well, it's not a matter of, I see, if they come to her and say,
Right.
we can make sure you're just on supervised, probation.
Right. Right. You just tell us everything you know about Ridley Thomas's crimes, and you'll be under house arrest for 2 days.
I wonder if they're
I'd make
even
up stuff.
charged. I didn't even look that up. Are they even charged? Let me see the list of indictments against both of them for all the claims. I don't know what it is. Because it's 20
I
counts.
recommend Sensodyne Repair and
Yeah,
Protect.
there's more than enough to put him away for life.
Have that quality of life back.
Well, her attorney just was quoted as saying, my client is not committing any crimes. We believe the evidence in this case will ultimately support this conclusion.
But,
It's very straightforward.
I would guess, just without having delved into all the details of the charges, he was the one who misappropriated the tax money. She just took the money that he and the other supervisors gave her. Now, if somebody gives you $9 million, that in itself is not a crime. It's that she promised to turn the judge's son into a professor and give him a free graduate degree and all the other
And he
perks.
got free tuition at the college as well.
Yeah, now he was part of the deal too, and he's the one who actually proposed spending the $9 million.
He's the one that's more aggressive defendant.
Right, I think so. Yeah, because he started this, right? This was his idea. He wanted to save his judge's son. He had access to the tax money. He had the support of the supervisors. Yeah,
And I gotta believe, and I think we did see this today, that he started this too. Not that that matters, but I think he reached out to her.
yeah,
because he did go to school there. I think he had some kind of relationship
Yeah,
with
no,
social work. She's been there a long time. 21 years she was dean there.
And
But again, they removed her from the position in June of 2018 because of this situation with Ridley Thomas when they got a heads up that he got the nonprofit money to his son, to the school.
And he's the public official. He's one of 5 people that represent 10 million residents,
Right.
which is a whole nother absurdity, that we only have 5 people representing 10 million
10
residents.
million residents.
Okay,
Yeah, 2 million a person.
And I don't know how many billions of dollars in tax money flows through the county, but they have a gigantic budget.
Oh, it's a massive amount. Yeah, I don't remember it offhand, but I looked it up once and my eyeballs were like, what the hell?
I think LA County is more populated.
Property tax money alone.
LA County is more populated than a majority of states. So it's its own state. It's tens of billions of dollars. God knows how much. You could look it up. But the thing is, he's the public official. The feds want him. Nobody cares about her. Nobody ever heard of her. She's a USC administrator. But to get an LA County supervisor, no, she'll flip on him.
She's a small fish.
Yeah.
We'll get them the bigger fish if
Right.
she does agree to make a deal and can be the witness against them.
Yeah, no, I think prosecutors, like the big fishes for them, are getting politicians.
Absolutely.
That's the most exciting catch of the day.
It is. It is the headline grab. Right.
Yeah.
So we don't know if she's made this appearance because I'm looking for more recent stories that are all just expected to be arraigned today. And for people who don't know this, as John just laid out, she was the dean of the School of Social Work for 21 years. And apparently, though, they had run into some massive debt. So we believe when Ridley Thomas approached her with the idea of bringing some business to the School of Social Work from LA County, and then he turned around and made sure that Ridley Thomas's godson, Sebastian, got a professorship, got an education as a student at USC, and also got some position with a nonprofit that paid him.
The county budget's $36 billion.
Wow. You know what? I was going to say a billion, so I didn't think it's...
$36 billion in the
That
hands
used
of,
to be the state budget years ago.
yeah, in the hands of 5 people, and every one of them's an idiot. How's that happen?
All right, but you can look at this like the state of 10 million people. There's usually just one governor, right?
I wouldn't trust any of these people with my wallet. And they're trusted at $36 billion.
All right, so let's see if anything comes out of that story. Coming up when we return, it's still here, John. It's Word to Text with some money. You want to stand by for that? You listeners want to stand by for that, right?
I'm not standing for
Every
anything.
detail are undone.
Get up and walk away.
Deborah Marquez News.
Today, we're expected to get 2.5 inches and 2.5 inches of rain in LA County before the system moves east around 6 or 7 tonight. A UCLA study for women over 50 who breastfed their babies perform better on cognitive tests than women who never breastfed. Longtime NFL official Carl Madsen has died on his way home from the Titans-Chiefs game in Nashville. Though he announced his passing but did not give a cause of death, he was 71. Double on the 210 next.
Do you know what the 3 biggest risks are to your retirement income? Their taxes, healthcare costs, and inflation. Is your portfolio properly diversified to help withstand them? If you don't know, call 833-PLAN-EFE right now. Get your free retirement review from Edelman Financial Engine. Even though you've spent decades saving and making good decisions on your own, you deserve the answers and peace of mind a professional financial advisor can give you. One of our experienced planners will see if your strategy has any gaps and help you protect against these risks eroding your savings and impacting your goals and your lifestyle in retirement. And you'll receive an integrated financial plan, an $800 value created specifically for your circumstances and needs for free. But you need to act now. Call 833-PLAN-EFE by Tuesday at 10 p.m. That's 833-PLAN-EFE. Or visit EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. Call now.
From the Southern California Toyota Dealer Traffic Center, we make it easy. We have a class on the 210 in Montrose.
Pennsylvania East on 210, represented to the Q in the middle lane to block there. Things are pretty jammed up from right on Pennsylvania Avenue. As you're making the ride on the 5-3 lane, southbound side of Clinton Summer Boulevard, it's close to the crash in the 12-3 lane, so things are already pretty slow as you're coming away from just before Sheldon. Also, it's going to be a really slow ride as you're heading along 57, goes outside approaching the 91, get a crash here in the right lane, so things are backing up there. Coming away from Lincoln, 1-3 south on Mountain, the 605 south right before Valley Boulevard. Still got this back in the cultural lane, so things to the channel right around Lower Azusa. Kfi in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jerry.
This report is sponsored by Sam and Ash Injury Law. If you find yourself in a situation where you're injured a little or a lot, this is so easy to remember. Sam and Ash avert the crash. Just in case, put this number in your phone. 800-304-2000. Call Sam and Ash, avert the crash. SamandAshLaw.com. Get good news with music. The only 24/7 news network that's free. Using your TV's digital antenna or your favorite streaming device. Music is the essential relevant journalism you've been searching for. Solid facts without the opinion. Learn more at newsy.com. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
As life returns to normal, our worries have not disappeared, but evolved. Cal Hope offers free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 1-833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today with 1-877 Cars for Kids. We're a recognized 501c3 charity organization, so you'll receive a maximum tax deduction. What's more, you'll receive a vacation voucher of 3 days and 2 nights. Also on the web at carsforkids.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
The price of meat is sound crazy. I saw it to lunch with building Saturday.
Barbecue place up the street.
No brisket. There was barbecue snout and ears and hooks.
Bill Handle. Mornings from 6 to 10
I mean, I have no problem not feeding my kids, so I don't give up my meat.
on KFI.
You can win money now.
KFI has your chance to win $1,000.
Text the nationwide keyword
Work. W-O-R-K. 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info.
standard data and necessary supply with nationwide contact.
That's work to 200-200.
Yeah, what millions are not doing. Work. 200 to 200. 200. All right, the phone rings. Answer it, even if you don't recognize the number. Coming from the 513 area code. Listen to KF5 for the winning keyword every weekday at 20 after the hour, 5:20 in the morning, 7:20 at night. And next chance to win 3:20 next hour. So.
Very well done. One of the stories that broke over the weekend, and we had seen this a few times when Trump was president, but here's the first death for old Joe. It's a caravan of migrants headed to the United States. Organizers say there are more than 2,000 migrants in this caravan. They set off to a place called Tapachula, Mexico. Some carrying American flags and signs with Joe's name. And by the way, Tapachula's in the south of the country on the border with Guatemala.
Yeah, that's 1,000 miles that they're going to be marching.
So it's going to take some time, right? We've seen this before. These are organized by the activists. His philosophy is just overwhelm the U.S. border. They're going to have to let a lot of us in. Trump got a handle on this, and he basically had the countries that they were marching to stop them and break them up. Organizers made migrants who wish to participate in the caravan to register with this QR code on their phones or to a website to participate. This is getting high tech.
Well, yeah, because the drug cartels, and one of their products is humans, they have billions of dollars, so they can invest in technology like any company.
You think this is a cartel organizing this? Where they're taking money from these people?
Yeah.
Oh, I assume these are just activists who are organizing people for open borders.
Activists connected to the cartel. The cartel can finance it. They have billions of dollars.
Are you sure people are paying to be part of this?
What do you mean?
I didn't see that in the story, but I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying, that's what you think is going on. That they're paying?
If they're being organized and protected, yeah, they're probably paying. Because otherwise, what would the average guy in a small town, in Guatemala, how would he know how to do this? you need to have some confidence and protection.
Well, that's what I mean. The activists have done this for years, so they have a whole routine that they go through.
Activists
To
have,
organize people. Some go on buses, some walk.
but the activists have to
And
feed
make
their
their way forward in a big PR push.
the activists have to be paid. They have to feed their families too. They can't
Some
just be
have
activists.
donors like George Soros. I'll just throw that out there to you because you love that.
Because I think if the cartels make an enormous amount of money smuggling humans, I don't think they would be putting up this.
Yeah, I don't
Free
think it's a
competition.
cartel, but maybe we'll see that story eventually. Within hours, and this is the difference between Biden, I think, and Trump, a wall of Mexican interior police very protective here, and human being shields tried to block their path, but they just forced their way through. And they continue towards the United States. This, of course, is just days after we learned that for the fiscal year that ended in 2021, September 30th, 1.7 million migrant encounters. And I saw the pictures of this. They're holding signs. We're coming, Joe. Joe, please help us. You know, I think some on the open border side laugh about this idea that, oh, people in foreign countries know when there's a president who's open borders. But they do. Well, that gets the message back to all the villages.
That is a really ignorant attitude. These people are not backwards out of the 1700s. They all have cell phones. They're all on social media. They've seen the photos and videos from their friends and relatives who are already here. That's how it's working. They're and social media.
Yeah, that's how they find people, right?
And the cartels are a huge business, and they're making more money than they ever imagined by smuggling all these humans since Biden opened the door. We are financing an exponential growth in revenue for the human drug smuggling cartels. We're accomplices to this. Biden is an accomplice to that. And all these other whacked out, woke progressives. They're creating a bigger and bigger monster. The more money they have, the more weapons they buy, the more powerful they are. They're more powerful than the Mexican government, obviously. So it's feeding this beast. None of that's going to end well.
Well, since here, unlike the caravans that made headlines 2 years ago, this one is still taking longer. The Mexican government has banned truckers from letting migrants hitch a ride, so they do have to walk for 2,500 miles.
And who's
to the
enforcing
Texas
that?
border.
Yeah, who's going to enforce that, though?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
But there are no laws governing it. Apply capital of hundreds of thousands. Mexico's not enforcing it. We're not enforcing any laws.
Well, we found out that Mexico basically gave up under Trump. They were doing something because Trump was like, well, I'll throw tariffs on you. I'll hold back aid. Biden just goes down and says, don't be Harris down there to say, we have to get to the root cause. Let's give them more money.
That's the talking point cover stuff.
They always do. I mean, that's the difference between what's happening and not happening.
They know what they're doing. Progressives, this is one of their hardcore beliefs, is that there should be no borders, especially for wealthy, capitalistic countries.
Right.
Most especially America. This is exactly what they want to happen, and they will allow as much as possible until Election Day. Probably shortly before Election Day, they'll shut off the borders.
As I said, the only thing that's going to temper this is the fact that there's some people in that crazy party who say, we're going to get burned next year if we continue this.
Well,
their stories, they're not making as big a headlines as they should, but they do every now and then make
they
headlines.
have the media on their side. The
They do, that's right.
media is backed largely with woke progressives who also think that a capitalistic, wealthy country like America should not have borders to keep out poor people. They believe that it's like a religious philosophy.
Yeah, except I did notice when this started earlier this year, you were right, the media didn't say a word. And then eventually, even like it was front page news in the New York Times, they had to, because if the problem gets too big, and especially when all the hints under the bridge, you can't pretend it doesn't exist for too long.
Yeah.
Well, they do not cover it into this.
Some of the older journalists still want to cover news the traditional way. But as each year goes by, there's more and more woke progressive journalists, and the older people retire. And so it's a gradual switch. And you'll see more and more all woke coverage all the time, as long as it's bringing the money. And again, you don't have to have everybody read you. You only need a few million viewers, a few million readers, and you make billions of dollars. So you super serve that. Like, for example, an ice cream store does not have to sell cheeseburgers and pizza, right? Why don't you sell ice cream? And you super serve those people and give them 30 different flavors, and you make billions of dollars serving ice cream. Well, that's the equivalent of the New York Times. They're just giving ice cream to progressive readers. Like Fox is giving ice cream to conservative readers. They don't have to serve everybody. And they don't. So apparently the majority of the people, as you could have guessed, are either from Central or South America. And again, there's supposedly some Haitians in this caravan. We had heard that one official in Panama said that there were a whole lot of Haitians making their way to her country. So I would imagine that maybe some of them hooked up with this caravan, or otherwise was just making their way here anyway. I heard someone interviewed today. I think he was a Border Patrol agent, and he's also running for office in Arizona. And he was on Fox News this morning, one of the Fox channels. And he said that the Border Patrol has intercepted people from 164 nations. And he says
That's how far and wide the message got about Biden. Yeah.
he says there's only 189. So I don't know how the 25 other countries didn't get the memo yet. But he got 164 nations are represented.
Wow. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about something we talked about a lot on this show, particularly with Newsom as governor, but it's happened with other politicians. The idea of behested payments. A behested payment is a way to reach the politicians to have their charitable non-profit. So there really are no limits on how much you can give. And the idea is that you get influence on the politicians through the back door. Well, they spent 18 months, but the regulators here in California are supposed to see a check on this type of legal bribery. They issued some new rules. Yeah, they're pretty toothless. We'll talk about it coming up.
John and Ken, KFI, Deborah Marquez.
Three people have been found dead at a home on Balboa Island in Newport Beach. One person's in the hospital. Cops got a medical aid call just before 8:30 this morning. Police say the dead are 2 women and a man. Police in Idaho are responding to a shooting in a mall. The Boise Police Department says there are reports of people who are hurt and one person has been arrested. The news is brought to you by Reader's Hero. Scientists in San Diego have turned their attention to finding a vaccine for all COVID, not just 19. Scientists at La Jolla Institute for Immunology have received a $2.6 million grant from the National Institutes for Health to develop a so-called pan-coronavirus vaccine, which, if effective, could ward off the next pandemic. For it to work, scientists would have to identify the part of the virus that doesn't change and train the immune system to go after that. Scientists at Scripps Research are also working toward a pan-coronavirus vaccine in partnership with the Gates Foundation, using the same strategy the team has used to study HIV for decades. The Central Valley is getting a medical school. It'll be on the campus of UC Merced. Governor Newsom has pledged to help build the $210 million medical education building on the campus. Chancellor Juan Sanchez Munoz says the financial help makes the medical school possible.
We now have the ability to program that building's breakdown as early as maybe next fall. Simultaneously, because of the good efforts of our legislative leader, begin to hire the faculty and the staff that will occupy that building.
The medical school is expected to serve more than 2,000 undergraduates by 2030. A 6-year-old boy who survived a cable car crash in Italy that killed his family has been ordered returned to live with his father's relatives. ABC's Megan Williams says the boy's maternal grandfather took him to Israel last month. Thus, the court determined that the boy's regular residence was in Italy, where he'd lived for several years with his parents and where an Italian court had granted the boy's aunt's guardianship law. The grandparents in Israel say they will appeal the decision. And the actor who played Gunther on the TV show Friends has died from prostate cancer. Actor James Michael Tyler was the most frequently recurring guest star on the show, and his character was infatuated with Rachel.
I was wondering if you'd like to go to a movie with me sometime.
Jungle Book.
As my lover.
Six or five, four.
Two out there. Maybe I'd just like to get something to eat with me sometime. As my lover.
Tyler's manager says the actor died yesterday at home in L.A. Tyler was first diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer in 2018. he was 59. We're going to go back to the Drive in South El Monte.
Left hand side as you're approaching Valley Boulevard, looks like this track is still taking away to carpool lane, so things are going to be heavy as you're coming away from Lower Azusa. North hand side as the 605 slows down to the Cerritos starting on from the 91 all the way out to the 60. As you're heading into Sun Valley, southbound side of the 5 at Sun and Boulevard, still got a crash here in the carpool lane, so things are back right around Sheldon. Also, it's going to be a heavy ride as you're heading along the eastbound 10, coming out of Santa Monica from Centinela over to the 5 freeway. And things are pumping up to Anaheim Hills, eastbound 91 in between Weir Canyon and Green River. Kfi Am, this guy helps get you there faster. I'm Jerry.
San Manuel Casino is changing its name and changing the game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel, with 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new high limit room for 5 gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly.
Southland weather from KFI, sunny and breezy tomorrow, highs mid-60s to low 70s for Metro LA, mid-60s to mid-70s in the valleys, mid-60s to low 70s for Inland. We lead local live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
Smith, owner, Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC, with another good deed for